We are taking you live now to Sydney, where police are providing an update on its manhunt after a gunman fatally shot a man in the city and fled the scene overnight.
In terms of injuries, he suffered gunshot wounds to the upper torso and eventually succumbed from those injuries.
Do we know how many shots were fired?
At the moment, that's part of the investigation. Thank you.
Can you walk us through sort of the movements? Was he shot at the BP and has stumbled or moved up into the intersection at Cleveland and Crown Neck? Can you sort of tell us that?
At the time he was shot, he was alone in his vehicle at the service station. After that, he got out of the vehicle and went on foot down Cleveland Street, generally west, and to a point where he was eventually died at near Baptist Street on Cleveland Street. The origin of the movements of that vehicle are subject to the investigation at the moment.
There's suggestion that perhaps a pedestrian might have been hit by the Porsche. Is that something you're looking at?
I haven't heard any information relating to that, no.
And in terms of this man's possible underworld links, what can you tell us about that?
I can tell you that the male that has died was known to police. He does have links to organised crime entities, and I can't say anything more in addition to that.
Believed to be high ranking or low level? Where does he fall into?
I can't discuss any of those details.
How would you describe the nature of this attack? Lots of people around, a very public shooting.
But this was an outrageous incident, demonstrated a high level of reckless indifference to the public that in and around that area at the time. And we'll be working very hard to identify and arrest those involved and hold them to account.
Do you have any idea about what kind of car was driven away from the Kensington block after they jumped and lit the Porsche on fire?
The movements of those involved after the shooting are still subject to and will be a main focus of the investigation.
Yeah, how many people were involved?
That will also form part of the investigation.
Do you believe it's just one shooter though?
We're investigating at the moment to determine how many were involved, but at the moment it's unknown.
Have you located the weapon?
That's also part of the investigation.
Any ongoing risks to the public?
This was definitely a targeted attack. As I mentioned, the male that died had known links to organised crime, so on that basis we believe it was targeted and that he was the intended target of that attack. And there's no broader risk or threat to the public in relation to this.
Can you tell us about the SUV that's being left to the station? Is that part of your investigation?
I'm not aware of those details, but I can't speak to any more detail around the movements or vehicle involved in this matter. So.
Police worried about any further reprisals as a result of this, or is this a reprisal in itself?
Look, I can't comment on anything broader than this particular matter in South Sydney, and our focus is on this investigation and this particular incident and working to quickly identify those involved.
What's your message to the people involved who fled last night?
We're coming for you.
Just to clarify, when they shot this man in the petrol station, had they also pulled into the petrol station, or was it from the road, or were they on?
Those finer details I can't discuss and are a part of the investigation.
There's been a number of gangland shootings or incidents in recent months. Are police equipped to deal with these incidents? Are they getting out of control?
I can't comment more broadly than this particular incident, and as I said, we've focused very heavily on this incident and this investigation from last night, and are working hard to identify those involved and arrest and bring them to hold them to account.
Are you out of your depth work?
We're working very hard to identify these offenders. Thanks very much.
Police providing an update there on their search for a gunman after a fatal shooting in Sydney overnight. Police there have confirmed that the victim was known to police and it was a targeted attack. We'll bring you more information on that story throughout the morning.